the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's been gaining a lot of attention: plant-based diets. You've probably heard the words vegetarian, vegan, and maybe even vegetarian thrown around, and it can get a little confusing. What's the real difference? Are they all the same? Well, stick around because we're going to clear it all up, making it super simple to understand. First up, let's talk about the most familiar term, vegetarian. At its core, being a vegetarian means you don't eat meat. That includes red meat like beef and lamb, poultry like chicken and turkey, and also fish and other seafood. The primary focus is on excluding the flesh of any animal. However, the vegetarian umbrella is actually quite broad, and thus there are a few important subcategories to know. The most common type is a lacto-ovo-vegetarian. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it simply means they don't eat meat, but they do eat dairy products. That's the lacto part, like milk and cheese, and eggs, which is the ovo part. Then you have lacto-vegetarians, who eat dairy but avoid eggs, and ovo-vegetarians, who do the opposite. They eat eggs but skip the dairy. So, when someone says they're vegetarian, they're most likely a lacto-ovo-vegetarian, but it's always okay to politely ask if you're not sure. The key takeaway for vegetarianism is the exclusion of all animal flesh. Their plates are filled with fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, and depending on the type, dairy and eggs. Now let's move on to a term you might have seen, especially in older texts or translations: vegetarian. This one can be a bit tricky because its meaning has shifted over time and varies by region. Historically, vegetarian was sometimes used to describe someone who ate only plant-based foods, what we would now call a vegan. It emphasised a diet consisting solely of vegetable matter in the broadest sense, fruits, grains, and so on. However, in modern English, the term vegetarian is not very common. It's largely been replaced by the more specific and widely understood term vegan. If you do encounter it, it's often used interchangeably with vegetarian, or more precisely, a strict vegetarian, someone who avoids all animal products in their diet. Because of this ambiguity and its rare usage today, most people just stick to vegetarian or vegan to avoid any confusion. So, think of vegetarian as an older, less precise cousin in this family of diets. So, what about veganism? This is where the distinction becomes really clear. Being vegan goes a significant step beyond being vegetarian. A vegan diet, which is sometimes called a strict vegetarian diet, excludes all animal products. This means no meat, no poultry, no fish, but also no dairy, no eggs, and no honey. A vegan's plate is 100% plant-based. The diet is built entirely around fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. But here's the crucial difference. Veganism is more than just a diet. It's a lifestyle and a philosophy. Vegans aim to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of animal exploitation and cruelty. This principle extends beyond their plate. For example, vegans will avoid wearing leather, wool, silk, or fur because these materials come from animals. They'll also seek out cosmetics and household products that are cruelty-free, meaning they weren't tested on animals and don't contain animal-derived ingredients like certain colorants or fats. So, to recap the journey from vegetarian to vegan, a vegetarian doesn't eat animal flesh. A vegan doesn't eat any animal products at all, no meat, dairy, eggs, or honey. And most importantly, a vegan also extends this principle of avoiding animal exploitation to other areas of their life, like clothing and consumer products. Let's put it into a a simple analogy, imagine a big tree. The main trunk is plant-based eating. One huge branch is vegetarianism. On that branch, you have smaller offshoots like lacto-ovo, lacto, and ovo-vegetarianism. Then you have another major branch, which is veganism. This branch is distinct because it's not just about the food you eat. It's a whole philosophy that guides your choices in fashion, personal care, and more, all centered on compassion for animals. So, while a vegetarian might enjoy a cheese pizza or scrambled eggs for breakfast, a vegan would opt for a pizza with dairy-free cheese and a scramble made from tofu or chickpeas instead. While a vegetarian might have no issue buying a leather belt, a vegan would look for an alternative made from canvas or a synthetic material. It's this all-encompassing lifestyle approach that truly sets veganism apart. Why do people choose these paths? The motivations are incredibly diverse and personal. For many vegetarians, the choice might be primarily for health reasons, environmental concerns, or a general dislike for meat. They see it as a positive step towards a healthier lifestyle and a lighter environmental footprint. For vegans, these reasons are often present too, but they are typically underpinned by a strong ethical foundation. The core driver for many vegans is the belief that animals are sentient beings with a right to life and freedom, and that using them for food, clothing, or entertainment is fundamentally unjust. Of course, many people transition from vegetarianism to veganism over time as they learn more and their personal ethics evolve. There's no single right path, and every person's journey is unique. So there you have it. Vegetarian, no meat. Vegetarian, an older, less common term, often meaning a strict plant-based diet. And vegan, a lifestyle that avoids all animal products and exploitation, from food to fashion. I hope this clears things up. It's fascinating how these dietary choices reflect a wide range of personal values, from health and environmentalism to deep ethical convictions. What are your thoughts? Are you vegetarian, vegan, or just curious about eating more plants? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.